Hey, this is Casper the Crazy Cat Lady. I'm coming back to you on my normal Monday. Get ready with me. Now, I did go ahead and get that voting poll up on Twitter, and all the votes all said that I should do story times. So, we're going to do our first story time today while I'm getting ready. It's going to be a quite rather simple one. I'm just going to tell you about my jobs that I've had today because that's going to tie back into pretty much any story I'll ever tell you in the future. So it's a good starting base. Anyway, today we're going to go ahead and get ready with me. I'm going to get it all set up. I've already chosen what I'm going to use. I've picked out my outfit so I know what I'm going to wear. This is Oreo. Isn't he so handsome? Yes, he is. Anyway, so I'm going to get it all set up, get a picture taken for the thumbnail, and then we're going to go from there. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so we are all set up. I am going to be starting off with the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette. Here's my Oreo again. He's going to be joining us today. I am also thinking, I don't know if I will for sure use this palette, but I may use my Morph X Manny Mua Glam palette. I'm sorry if I butchered those names. Those will be for my eyeshadow. For my highlighter, I'm going to use the Kenya Ontiveros Beauty Blush and Shine Kit. Now, I have been doing some research, so most of the stuff I figured out which boxes it's come from, but not all of it. So I don't know where the Kenya one is, but it'll all be in the links down below which boxes I got them from as well. Anyway, moving on. For brushes, today instead of using my normal crown brushes, I'm going to be using the Morph brushes. I figured since I'm thinking about using the Morph palette, why not? The I Got This 4-piece eye brush collection. I'm going to try to remember to put on the eyeshadow primer, or the eyeshadow primer, the Urban Decay. I'm going to try to remember to do that this time. For the highlighter brush, I'm going to be using my Luxe 660 Precision Foundation brush again. And then I will be using my Marc Jacobs Liquid Black Eyeliner. My Lashes MD Lash... Yeah, I already explained that. The Fenty Beauty Mascara. I may use the Milk Pencil Eyeliner on my bottom lids. And that's everything, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the makeup. Now, when I said I was going to talk about jobs, I'm just going to start from the beginning. So my mom would not let me get a job when I was in high school. She said, you have the rest of your life to work. You don't need to be doing it now. And I, at this point in my life, am quite thankful for that. Although I wish I was able to work while I was in high school and didn't have any bills, so I could have had some saving money, but probably wouldn't have happened anyway. So I didn't have a job until I went off to college. I started out as a server at Pizza Hut in the college town that I went to. Now, at the end of my freshman year of college, I'm not going to use this because I already used it all. At the end of my freshman year of college, actually on Valentine's Day, I got a phone call from my mother saying that she was pregnant and the baby was due in 6 weeks. So, big shocker for both of us there. I helped pick out the name and everything. He is my adorable little brother. I love him so much. He was born about a month before I turned 19. And just an interesting fact, I was a virgin when he was born. That may come in handy for some later stories, too. Everyone thinks he's my kid. He's not my kid. I was still a virgin. I just want to throw that out there. That's my, main thing to make people listen, he's not my kid. I joked about him being my kid, but he's not my kid. In fact, after I got off the phone with my mom, her telling me, I called up my best friend who was in college as well, and I was like, hey, I got something to tell you. Are you sitting down? So she sat down, and I was like, all right, I'm going to have a baby. I got pregnant. I'm going to have a baby, and I'm going to give it to my mom to raise her as my little brother, because I knew it was a boy. And she started freaking out. I couldn't contain it. I started laughing my ass off. And so when she stopped freaking out, she realized I was laughing. She's like, what the fuck? And I was like, okay, so I have some pretty exciting news, but I'm not pregnant. And she's like, okay. And I was like, but my mom is. And she's like, the fuck? You're in college. And yeah, anyway, it was this whole great thing. So, he actually ended up coming about 6 weeks early. I came home from spring break because my mom texted me saying she was going to the hospital for labor. And so I came home early for spring break. I came home for spring break. Sorry, my bad. And I waited for her to come home from the hospital, and I surprised her. I made her cry. I kind of felt bad, but it was really cute. I was really happy that I surprised her. Anyway, I'm sidetracked on the story. That's my little brother's story. But as far as jobs, so I had the Pizza Hut, and then at the end of the year, I transferred from the Pizza Hut in the college town to the Pizza Hut in my hometown. Well, where I went to school at anyway, kind of, where I went to high school. And I started working at that one. Now, at the end of the summer, I decided to stay home and help my mom with my little brother, because he was a surprise. I mean, we found out on February 14th, and he was born March 3rd, spring break time. So it was quite a surprise. Okay, so he was quite a surprise, and I ended up deciding to take a year off to help her out with him. And so I just stayed at the Pizza Hut where I went to high school. I ended up moving up, and as soon as I got my driver's license, which I didn't get till I was 19, I started in a car. I started delivering pizzas, and eventually I moved up to be a manager there. I ended up working there twice. I got fired for some dough that had been labeled by a cook incorrectly, and I was the manager on duty, and I should have known. I was never quite properly trained in the cooking, so I didn't really know what the dough would look like before it came out of the oven. I knew what it looked like, what pizzas needed to be thrown away after it came out of the oven, but I had no idea what it looked like before. So I ended up getting fired on that technicality. I did end up getting it back as a manager. I got properly trained. I knew everything, and it all ended up working out. Now, while I worked at Pizza Hut, I had numerous other jobs. I worked at Walmart during the winter time. I was an overnight stalker. I quit. It's like I always had winter jobs. I worked at just Pizza Hut in the summertime, and during the winter I worked at different other jobs as well. It was crazy. I worked at Younkers. I worked at this as soon as I turned 21, the Friday, my 21st birthday was on a Sunday, and the Friday after I turned 21, I got a job working at this little hole-in-the-wall bar in the town that I lived in. So I did that. I worked there every Friday and Saturday for a year, and then I switched to only working on call. So basically, I worked there on New Year's Eve and St. Patty's Day. I thought that was quite hilarious. Anyway, the second year I did every other weekend, and the third and fourth year I just did those two holidays. I worked at a hotel for about a month. I didn't think I was going to end up getting the promotion at Pizza Hut, so I was looking for another job because I felt that was unfair. I'd worked there forever, and I was a hard worker and a good worker, and I'd studied and practiced and did everything I needed to, and so I didn't think I was going to get it. And so I started looking for other jobs and got hired at a hotel. Well, I ended up getting the manager job at Pizza Hut, so I ended up quitting the hotel. I only worked there for a month. It was actually at the Holiday Inn. After that, these aren't necessarily in any quite chronological order. Sorry, chronological order. My bad. I worked, let's see. I worked at Boot Barn. I loved working at Boot Barn. It was probably my favorite job that I had. I worked what else did I work? I work at the casino now. I drive for Uber and Lyft. I have an OnlyFans. I do photography. I'm actually setting up some family photos here coming up soon. I obviously do the YouTube thing. A lot of interesting stories will be coming from the casino, Pizza Hut, and Uber and Lyft, just so you know. Those are going to be like the most interesting stories I have. Oh, I worked at a gas station for a few months. I worked at Wells Fargo call center. That was fun. For the actual bank card. So I got a lot of calls with people who were missing money and all that stuff. I got yelled at a lot, so it gave me the tough skin I have now to be able to work into the casino. By the way, in this Huda Beauty palette, I used this gold right here on my inner eyelids, and I used this red right here in the middle. What else did I do? Oh, also at Wells Fargo, I worked in the student loans department. That was a lot of fun. That was only a part-time gig through a temp agency, and that's actually how I started working at the Wells Fargo call center after that. I'm using Jamenta from the Morph palette, this reddish pink right down here. I know I worked more places. I talk about it all the time. I don't know why I can't think of them right now. Ow. I'm going to finish this up. Give me just a second, and then I'm going to go and look. Because I have my entire work history written down. So, bear with me. I'm almost done with the eyeshadow anyway, so that way the videos aren't too long when I upload them up onto my editing app. Alright. This is the final on the eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and end this little part of the video, pull that up and look, see what I'm missing, and then we'll be back to do eyeliner and mascaras and stuff. Alright, so I went through and looked through my list, and the only jobs I forgot to mention were I worked at Texas Roadhouse for a while, I worked at Fuddruckers for a couple months, and I also worked at Hertz. But Hertz is when I first moved to where I live now, and I was starting at the casino, but we weren't getting paid because when I first started, you got 6 weeks unpaid training, you learned 3 games, then you got auditioned, and if you passed your audition, then you got officially hired, started orientation, and started working. So, that's how it was at my casino. A lot of casinos are different. Some casinos pay their dealers training, like actually we do now, just because I live somewhere that there is not, there's not that much incentive. I don't know how else to describe it. Anyway, at my certain casino, you only have to be 18 to work there, and so we were hiring a lot of younger people, and not a lot of them can handle this. You have to take quite a bit of, not abuse, but the players get really angry when they lose money. Sometimes they're losing thousands of dollars, and you got to be able to handle that, and if you can't handle that, you can't handle the job. So, it's not for everybody. I'm probably only able to successfully do it because of my time at Wells Fargo call center. Anyway, so while I was in training, I worked at Hertz to bring in a little bit extra money, pay some credit card bills and stuff while I was going through training for the casino. I'm not so good at doing wings. For Hertz, all I did, it's a car rental company for those that don't know. If you do know and you've seen the commercials, we come pick you up. That's what I did. I went and picked people up and brought them to the car place to get their, like, I picked them up at the car mechanic shop and brought them to the car rental place so they can fill out the paperwork, or I would drop them off at the car mechanic place when it was done. And if we had a car that was something wrong with it and we couldn't fix it here where we are, I would drive it to our main branch that was about an hour and a half away. And anyway, so we did that. That's what I did at Hertz. At Pizza Hut, like I said, I was a server, delivery driver. I did eventually learn the cooking part of it. And I was a manager or a team leader is what it's called at Pizza Hut. I worked there for like 7 years total time. So a lot of stories from them, both inappropriate and appropriate ones. Let's see. Fuddruckers. I have a story from there. I'll just tell you that one right now. That one's kind of funny. So I was waiting for my no-slip shoes to come in the mail. My old ones that I'd worn at Pizza Hut were ruined. It was time for me to get a new pair when I had gotten fired, and so I didn't get the order in. And so I was waiting for new ones to come in that I'd ordered from Fuddruckers, and I was at work, and I turned around really fast because I do that. I'm a quick stop turn. I'm usually pretty aware of my surroundings, so most of the time no one runs into me. Sometimes they do, though. It happens. My apologies. Oh, real quick, I also forgot. I'm going to use the Seraphine Botanicals Apple, and I still don't know how to pronounce this, glow lip mask. That way my lips can be nourishing before, and that's not so sticky by the time I get to work and have to put on my mask. All right. I do vape. I'm trying to kick the habit, but as stressful as the casino industry can be sometimes, it's hard. For the most part, I only do it at work, but every once in a while I'll do it here too. Fuddruckers, sorry, I straight turned around and slipped and fell. We were really busy at the moment, so there was a lot of customers in there. I was right in the front. I had just taken an order and I was yelling something back to the cooks. And of course, I don't know if you've ever been to a Fuddruckers. It's like a really cool burger place, a gourmet, made-to-order burger place. I fell in front of everybody. The cooks are up front, like they're right there. The people can watch the cooks like flipping their burgers and making their fries and stuff. Like, it's really cool. So the entire almost the entire staff was up there basically, because most of our staff is cooks. The rest of the people were in the back, but that was only like 3 or 4. So I literally fell in front of every single person. It was crazy. It was embarrassing. I turned beet red, and when I blush, it's not just my face that gets red. My arms get red. My chest gets red. Sometimes I've blushed once so much that my legs actually turned red. It was ridiculous. Anyway, so that is that Fuddrucker story. But I thought that would be a good introductory work story, and this would be a good first story time, since a lot of my future videos, most of my stories I have are from work or people I know from work. Like, most of my friends in my life have been coworkers. So, well, ever since college anyway. my main friends are coworkers since college. I don't really get out and do a lot. I don't go to the bar as much. So I just end up being friends with coworkers, and most of my stories are with coworkers. So I figured the jobs would be the first story time, tell you all the jobs I've had in my past. That way you kind of have an idea. They weren't necessarily in chronological order, because some of them, like when I worked at Club David, I was also working at Pizza Hut, and I was also working at another place, and that's also when I was working at the hotel. Like, a lot of these jobs I had all at once. Like, at one point I did have 5 different jobs at one time. So, like, I'll have to figure out the order. Maybe I'll list it below in the description, along with the product links for everything I used today. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos if you haven't already. I'm going to try to get this video up. I probably won't. I know I said this last week too. But I am actually going to try to get this video up and online, edited tonight and up online by tomorrow morning. And then I also have to go through and edit some photos for my OnlyFans. Anyway, from the Kanye Ontiveros, however you pronounce that palette, I'm not going to do blush because blush would be covered by the mask and my mask dirty, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to do this lights highlighter because I'm very fair-skinned, so yeah. If you have any questions about the jobs I've worked, you can comment me. You can find me on my social medias, which will be also listed in the description under the ItsMyURLs link. Like, have any questions about working at the experiences? If you're having questions about why I moved so many jobs, I don't know. I just get bored easily, and if it's not something that I end up thoroughly enjoying, I think I just find something else. Except for the time that I was fired, I never switched jobs without having a different job already lined up. In fact, like I said, I had the hotel lined up to take over after Pizza Hut, and I ended up just staying at Pizza Hut. So that's the only reason why that worked out the way it did. Like, I'm very responsible with my switching jobs. If I ever leave it, when I leave this casino, and it's just because I plan on moving, but when I leave this casino, I do intend on, I don't know, I'll do it right. Like, I'll go to another casino, so I plan on having, I don't know. I don't really remember where I was going with that. I had a long night last night. I'll tell you about it in another YouTube video in the future. But, yeah. So, I gotta go to work now. Have a great day. Wear your masks in public. Be good. Don't be annoying. Don't be a pain in the butt. This is the final product, by the way. I'll take a picture when I get to work with my outfits, because my pants I leave at work anyway. Yeah, like, subscribe. Have a great day. Wear your masks. January went by fast, so happy February, everybody. Ooh, maybe I should do a special get ready with me for Valentine's Day. Although I work at 2 that day because it's a Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. I am also thinking about just pretending like my boyfriend just broke up with me so I can get a lot of pity tips. Just kidding. I won't do that. But it's a joke that we all make every year, and none of us actually do. Anyway, have a great day. Happy February. Yeah, February 1st. Get your taxes done. Bye.